Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, my channel is about to take a turn. Things are about to change, and I want to kind of send a message out to every single person who's been doing a lot of buying, a lot of selling, a lot of trading, all of these hype coins, okay? This is just from my perspective, this is just my opinion, and you guys know I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this should be taken to an extent that you'll make your own, you'll make your investment decisions based off of this video, okay? But this is what I want to talk about, okay? I'm not going to really do an intro, I'm not going to do anything, we're going to get straight into it. So, what we've been seeing recently in the crypto market is that of what we saw within the penny stock market 3 months ago, right? If you don't really know too much about penny stocks, let me kind of break this down to you because it does truly, it transfers over, okay? So a penny stock is going to be a stock that is labeled under or priced under $5. Okay, these are typically your most risky. They're going to be your most volatile. They might be listed on something called OTC markets, which is basically going to be not so much information is known about them. They're not on any major exchanges. They're just traded hand in hand, right? And they're super volatile, right? No one really knows too much about them, but it's kind of a speculation play like, oh, it could do well, right? And if it does do well, then it can make it out of the penny stock realm. And then from that point, it's actually a true investment. It's a true company. Well, what happened with the penny stocks is that there was hundreds of them coming around. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, I can name a dozen of them off the top of my head, right? What happened with that, though, is that we saw some make it and we saw some fail, right? The ones that fell were going to be the ones that were truly just moving off the hype. Everyone was truly excited about it. There was no true core catalyst nor fundamental reason as to why the valuation of this company was growing, okay? So with that, what we saw is that as they did gain in popularity, once that popularity was no longer there, once we got to the IPO or the IDO, once the merger happened, once we started seeing something like that happen, then it started to fall, right? The issue with that is, by that point, there is no reason for it to recover. Okay, and that's what people don't understand. These things don't just only go up. We always see the joke stonks just go up. They don't always just go up, neither does crypto, okay? We have to understand that as it does grow, the reason that it is growing is because it's growing. Once it stops growing, the reason it's not going to grow is because it's not growing. That's how hype works. Now, we might see little spikes because those are the people who want to make their money back. And of course, that is going to be something we see all the time. A whole bunch of people who can't accept that loss. The difference is, though, the penny stocks that we saw making out are going to be the ones that had fundamental reasons as to why they should, or what catalysts were around, such as maybe this one called HCMC, I'm not sure if you're familiar with, where there's a lawsuit going on right now that's causing fluctuations and causing it to either go up or go down based off the outcome of that lawsuit. Well, it's very relatable to crypto. And this is exactly what I'm expecting that we are going to see within the next few months. Right now, we're in a time where we're seeing some things like Safemoon. We're seeing these things, NFT art finance. We're seeing many different ones gain loads of popularity, but there's going to be a vicious cycle that's about to take place. Okay, my honest opinion is that between 80 to 95% of all of the hype coins that we see, even some that I talk about on my channel, 80 to 95% of them are not going to succeed. They're going to go up, they're going to have their peak, they're going to fall, they're going to consolidate and either stay at consolidation because people are just trying to make their money back, or they're just going to slowly fall until everyone gets out of them and no one really talks about them ever again. That's 80 to 95%, okay? There's going to be 5% of them that actually make it out and establish themselves as a true crypto project or some type of true exchange or something like that that gives it a fundamental reason as to why it can then be an investment and not a speculative play. And that's the very clear difference between how they make it and how they don't. The ones that remain speculation and the ones that are just speculative aren't going to make it, right? As time does go on, speculation dies. People stop speculating that they'll do well and then it dies, okay? Whenever something starts to prove itself, for me personally, and I might shoot myself in the foot as I do continue to do this, I do believe that Safemoon is going to be one of those ones that can make it out, right? I truly do believe that it still has not made it out. It is still in that realm of speculation. We're speculating that there's going to be a true good wallet that's going to come out. We're speculating that they'll have an exchange. We're speculating that they will be able to apply all of their different tokenomics and cryptonomics to some of these other cryptos. We're speculating that they will be able to be the freedom of the unbanked, as they do label themselves whenever they describe their mission. All of that is speculation. And at the end of the day, it's nothing but speculation. We are speculating that that is going to be what happens. Okay? And so with that being said, there's still much proving to be done, but they have proved a lot up to this point. And I think that it's a layered thing, right? You have to clear these different layers that will get you out of that speculation mode. Or, as we talked about penny stocks, to get you past that $5 range, right? So now you're not really considered a penny stock or a speculative play. You're considered a true investment. This is something I can put money into, and as it does grow in value, then I will get something from it, rather than being like, I'm speculating that it can do this, and if it does do that, I'll make money. So I'll just put some money into it right now and see what happens, okay? So what I'm expecting, again, is that 80 to 95% of these are not going to make it. I'll continue to talk about them on this channel. Many of them I won't invest in myself, because at the end of the day, I have to, you have to understand that this is the cycle that it goes. There's a lot of money to be made within them. As you can learn how to ride these trends, as you can learn how to ride momentum, you can capitalize on loads and loads and loads of profit. But what I want many of you to understand is don't get so emotionally attached to some of them. Don't get so emotionally attached to some of them that you can't see the clear picture of what it is, right? If you're in one of these ones that really has no true functionality, it has nothing, no purpose, and the team isn't really trying to promote that there's a purpose, right? You got to understand that maybe, even if you're still in it, at the end of the day, and it had its hype and it failed, then maybe it's time to move on. Now, some could say the same for Safemoon. Some could say, well, Safemoon's doing the same thing. Safemoon went up, it came down, it kind of crashed a little bit, and now it's consolidating and slowly going down, and it has no true functionality. And right now, I agree. I 100% agree, and I know that might surprise people. Like, what? Tyler, and before you dislike and unsubscribe, give me a second. But the reason that I still believe that Safemoon is a little different is because of all of the information that we are receiving from Safemoon. And that's why my speculation is higher on Safemoon than it is for some of the other ones. Because if I was invested into something that really was speculative, it went up and had its hype and it came back down, it had no true functionality. Its team wasn't trying to provide us with any reason as to why it could go up, and all it is just about the hype, well, that's just going to fall. But that's not what we're seeing from Safemoon specifically, right? From what we're seeing from Safemoon specifically, what we are seeing is them start to try to provide credibility. Not only credibility, but reasoning. Not only reasoning, but functionality. And that functionality is what carries something of this magnitude that is this low, with so highly volatile, from speculation to investment. They have a lot of proving to do. So how does this apply to everything? That is how I look at all of these hype coins. If I'm not seeing that there is any true reason as to why it will go up again, other than maybe gaining some hype, I'm not going to put money into it. There's those few, like Dogecoin, that will just get so hyped up that they will just climb and climb and climb and climb. And a small percentage, right? And it does happen. I don't gamble to that extent. But what I want many of you to take from this video is that many of these will not continue to just go up just because they go up. It won't continue for long. And I know many of you do take what I say with a high level, right? And I don't recommend you do that. I think you just listen to my opinion, but still form your own opinions. But I know some of you do kind of weigh my opinion heavily. And my opinion is that you need to be very careful, okay? That takes me over to the second part of this video. What that means is that I will talk about my strategy, how I do this, and why, what change is about to come to my channel. The change that's about to come to my channel is you're about to see me start to switch from only talking about all of these hype coins, which is what I've been doing. Many of my subscribers want to see it, so that's what I do. At the end of the day, it's my job for me to provide you with the content that you want to see. But I think once you establish once you have a platform, and once people genuinely take so much consideration into your opinion, it's important for us as YouTubers to make sure that we aren't displaying the wrong message. And I think right now I'm displaying the wrong message. I would say that the message I'm displaying right now is, since I only talk about these different hype coins, that you should just invest in only hype coins. Now, that's not what I've ever said, never ever, and I've never even remotely made it seem that way. But I know that's the message that can be displayed just from looking at my channel. So what I'm going to be doing going forward is I'm going to be starting more of a series on this channel where I talk about some of these more established cryptos. The reason that I'm going to be doing that, I'm going to be talking about some like Binance, I'm going to be, or BNB. I'm going to be talking about some like Bitcoin or Ether. I'm going to be talking about all of these as well, because they play into my strategy. They play into how I invest. And I know many of you do take my opinion with such high consideration that if that is the case, then hopefully you understand the bigger picture that I have. The way that I run my investment portfolio, the way that I run my cryptos, is that 90% of all of my investments are put within well-established either cryptos or stocks. I run my cryptos and my stocks the same way. But since we are talking about a lot of crypto recently, I'll talk about crypto right now. So 90% of my total investments are going to be within like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm starting to get in some a little ADA Cardano, maybe, possibly, some BNB, etc. Now, 10%, only 10% of my total capital invested goes into these hype coins. The reason I do that is because I think of this very, very, very conservatively, right? The crypto market is very extremely volatile. We have 30% years, 100% years, 200% years. But I try to keep it conservative. I shoot for 10% returns on investments no matter what I'm doing, whether it be stocks, real estate, crypto, etc. I want a 10% return every single year. So why does that translate so well? Well, that means that a 10% return that I'm trying to get every single year will cancel out the entire 10% that I am investing, for the most part, the entire 10% that I am investing in these hype coins. So if I get absolutely burned, right? Safemoon crashes, NFT art crashes, all of these different things crash. If all of them crash within that year, my growth of my bigger coins, my bigger investments will cover that loss. And then I will reevaluate, use that year as a big lesson, figure out a better way to become a better trader. And then from that point forward, I can grow my portfolio. Those are lessons that can be learned. Now, realistically, my risk at that point is if I do have so much faith into my investments to give me a 10% return that year, if I do genuinely believe it with no doubt in my mind that it's capable, then my downside is about a year, right? My downside is really, I'm only risking a year. But the gains that can be made within this hype market are astounding. I mean, they're absolutely ridiculous, right? I mean, we've seen NFT art finance went up 700% over the course of 48 hours after I posted a video, right? That's not in correlation. It wasn't because of me, but I'm just saying I posted a video about it. I got into it and then it's up 700%. So you see that there are gains to be made. And so the 90-10 split is a way that I can limit risk to a very small amount, but be able to then grow my portfolio dramatically if I'm right. I never say I'm right. Matter of fact, I am wrong. 35% of the time, some of these I'm wrong about. And I'm very willing to admit that. Because in my opinion, to be a profitable trader, to be a profitable or successful investor, you don't need to be right every single time. You just need to be right the majority of the time. If you're right the majority of the time, you're growing. Okay? And so what I think about it in a sense of, you will continue to see me start to post a lot more about Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Cardano, some of these more well-established projects, cryptos, etc., due to the fact that that is how my strategy works. So will it be 90% those and 10% hype coins? Probably not. It'll be a very clean 50-50 split. But going forward, definitely expect that. And I hope that this doesn't tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to do whatsoever. But if you do take my opinion in high regard, maybe start to consider what can you do to create a more stable investment portfolio for yourself. I promise you, if 100% of your investments are within hype coins, you're going to lose eventually. You're going to get burned. Even if you have 2 that do really well, but you have 8 that fall, it's not going to balance out for you. You will lose. Okay? Take that as you want to. I know I'm going to lose subscribers over this, and it's totally okay. Because I know some people are like, no, hype coins. Talk about hype coins. We just want the most profit ever. That's not me anymore, right? I know I was consistently providing you with that, and that's what my goal was. I was like, I just want to give them what they're looking for. But there's some of you that I care about to such a far extent that I want to make sure that I'm not setting the wrong example that could cost you thousands of dollars or years of hard work. So that's what I'm doing going forward. That's the change that will be made on my channel. I will continue to talk about things like Safemoon. I will continue to talk about things like NFT art finance. These ones that I truly think, and even hype coins, some of the ones I know are just moving off of hype. And I will make sure that I clarify that this is a hype coin that I don't have long-term faith in. I might get in, I might get out to maximize some profits, go up to 200, 300% profit, and then put it into some of my long-term investments, right? That's what I do. That's how my strategy works. And that is what I've noticed has taken me from being, just a 19-year-old who maybe had $1,000, who's growing that thing to $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $80,000. That is what has worked the best for me. And that's what I want to make sure I'm displaying on this channel. So I hope you guys do appreciate this video. I know it is not going to fare well with some of my super duper enthusiastic hype coin investors. And listen, I truly do understand. You're entitled to your opinion. And I do value that. So comment your opinion down below. Let me know what you think. And I will interact with you there. I truly do understand. But with that being said, I did just want to put this message out there for all of you other YouTubers who are talking about some of these different cryptos. We need to make sure that we are setting the right example for these people. Okay? These people rely on us. We don't want them to, but they do. They rely on us for this information. They rely on us to tell them, in a sense, what are some good things to look at. And if we're consistently filling them up with hype, if we're consistently filling up with things that we know aren't going to make it, even if we say we know this isn't going to make it, but we only post about it, is setting a wrong example. So I think the majority of us need to take responsibility for the platform that we have. And going forward, we need to make sure that we are doing the right things, not just for us, but for the entire community within itself. And so I hope this does spread to a few of you that are watching. But with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. video, I'm actually going to be talking about the biggest holdings that I have. I'm going to be talking about some big cryptos. I'm going to be talking about some Ether. I'm going to be talking about some Bitcoin, maybe just later today. So stay tuned for that, as it should be coming very, very soon. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video again, and I hope it did kind of open your eyes up to a different perspective, because that is what my goal for today is. If it did, you can let me know, of course, by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. I post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace.